have just recalled the points. See, this is the story of one boy, Japanese boy, Taro, right? He was a woodcutter. He lived with his parents on a lonely hillside, right? They were living in a hut. And one day the cool wind was blowing and his father was feeling cold. So he said that I want a sake. Sake means it's a Japanese drink, expensive drink. He said, I want sake to drink. So this old hut will feel warm. But as it is expensive, Taro couldn't buy it. So he felt very sad and he thought that he will work harder even ever before and he will buy sake for his father. Early morning, he woke up very early and he went to the forest to chop the wood. As he was chopping the wood, it was now the time of sun was above the head. Now what happened? He felt thirsty. He became too warm. Right? He was sweating and he felt thirsty. His mouth became dry. So he needed water to drink. Suddenly what happened? He heard a voice of rushing water. So in that forest he never heard this type of voice. So he ran from where the voice was coming. So he was surprised. He saw there was a rushing water. It was a stream. As he was thirsty, he was feeling very hot. He just took a cup of water in his hand and tasted it. He was surprised. It was not water, but it was sake. Again and again he tasted, but actually it was sake. Right? So he filled the pitcher and went home and gave that sake to his father. His father drank it and he started dancing because he was feeling warm now. Now one lady visited, the neighbor visited their hut. Father gave that sake to that lady to taste and Taro told her about the story of waterfall. Then what happened? She spread the news throughout the village and by the evening time many villagers came to their hut and they drank sake. Now let's continue. In the next morning, Taro started for walk. Even earlier than the morning before, he carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all the neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. So next morning, very early morning, Taro went to near the waterfall. He had taken jar and pitcher with him, so he can fill that with the sake. And he was very surprised. There he saw all his neighbors, all villagers were there, and they were filling, and they were with their pitchers, jars, and whatever they have, they could fill the sake in that. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the water to drink. He drank again and again, and then he shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water." Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. And surprised, one villager, when he knelt down to drink sake, right, but it was not sake, it was cold, ordinary water. He shouted, "It is not sake, it's a water." Again and again he tried, but it was water only. Right? Other villagers also tried, but there was no sake, only water. Now what they say, that we have been tricked, shouted the villagers. "Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall." But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock. When he saw how things were going, he was nowhere to be found. Now villagers felt that Taro has cheated them. Right? So villagers shouted, "Where is Taro? Let's drown him in this waterfall." Right? But Taro was quite wise. He thought, what is he come to know what is going on and what will be happen to him. So he escaped from the place and nowhere he was found. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the snake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine snake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious snake. To everyone else, it's only cold water. And the villagers, they were angry, muttering and anything for Taro, and one by one they left the place. As Taro came out from the hiding place, and again he tasted that liquid, and he was surprised. It was sick. So students, for Taro it was sick, but for the other people, right, it was only cold water. So this magic waterfall, to the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave sick. As Taro was thoughtful son, he was taking care of his parents. So this waterfall gave him sick, and for the ordinary people, it was only cold water. Last paragraph, students. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. And this story of magic waterfall and Taro reached to the Emperor of Japan. So he decided to give reward to Taro. He sent his messengers and he gave 20 pieces of gold coins for this thoughtful and kind son. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This said the emperor was to encourage all the children to honor and obey their parents. And what happened? After that, emperor has given a name to the fountain. There was one fountain in that city, and he had given a name, Taro city. And this emperor has done to encourage children so they obey their parents.
आभार।